What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this video right now, you are at the beginning of hopefully what is going to be a very long series that I am planning to do on the channel. I'm going to call it Cardboard Kingpin. And the goal of this series is to get $1 million in TCG investments. And this is probably going to be a 10-year period that I'm looking at this. But the idea is that every single month, what we're going to do is we're going to sit down. I'm going to get in front of the camera. I know I'm doing it behind the camera this time around, but in the future, I'll be in front of the camera. We'll talk about everything that I currently have, the price I paid for it, the ROI, new things that I have brought in, maybe potentially things that I have sold. And I'll give my explanation as to why I do everything, right? The goal of this series is to give you guys 100% transparency when it comes to my investing journey. And today we're going to go through everything that I have. I'm going to show you guys all the numbers. And the reason why I'm doing this series now is because, first of all, I think it'd be something very interesting. Nobody's done anything like this on YouTube, at least to my knowledge, up to this point. And then also, for the longest period of time, my goal with investing in TCGs was to get enough money to eventually buy a house. And fortunately, I've been really lucky over the past couple of years, not just with TCG investments, but also earning more money in my career, and then also just other investments in the stock market. I'm at the point now where I can buy the property I want if I so choose. So it's time for a larger goal. And I think that something like this could potentially span 10 years maybe. So by the time I'm like 39, 40 years old, hopefully this series will be over. It could potentially go faster than that. And even if nobody watches this, it's still going to be something that I plan to do, because I think looking back in 10 years, if YouTube's still around, which I assume it probably will be, it'll be an amazing thing to look at, just looking at how my investments have changed over time, how my opinion of things have changed over time. If TCG investing is even a thing in 10 years, who knows, everything is going to explode and go to zero. So I hope that it'll be entertaining. And we'll start off today by going through everything I currently have. I do want to say a couple things. First of all the values you see in this video are going to be in Canadian dollars. The reason for that, I'm Canadian. If you're American and you have decent mental math, you passed like grade 7, you just multiply this number by 0.7. Take 70%. That's approximately what it's going to be in USD. In the future, I will try and add USD because I think that'll just be easier for a lot of people. I understand a lot of the audience is from America, but this is basically what we have here. Current value of all my investments, Pokemon and One Piece, $223,156.09 Canadian. That is from the Shiny app, by the way. I have everything logged in there currently. The goal, $1 million. Total price paid for everything, $92,809. And then the ROI on everything is 140.45%. And just one more thing before we get into every item and I talk about my reasoning for why I bought them and why I have them and things that I want to buy in the future. I do want to say this goal might ultimately change a little bit as time goes on, because I think by the time I'm 39 or 40, I'm probably not going to have $10 million in terms of net worth. So I'd like to get my TCG investments below 10% of my total net worth by the time I'm that age. So if that is the case, I may ultimately have to make the decision at some point to make it a $1 million combined investment and also profit goal. So say I had $500,000 in investments, but I'd also made $500,000 in profit selling other TCG investments. Maybe that's what we'll do as time goes on. But for now, we're going to leave it at $1 million. So to start off, I do want to bring you guys through my ETBs. This is a fairly small percentage of my overall investments. You can see here, I have 4 Paldea Vault PCTBs. I paid $2,060 Canadian. That's approximately $515 Canadian each. That's like what, maybe $360 USD, something like that. I bought these when they were up to around $700 USD. Kind of a bad buy in my opinion, and I'm a little bit salty about this just because I bought them with the intention of selling them. I had a deal lined up, deal fell through, so I just haven't had a chance to move them. And I did want to move 3 of the 4. I wanted to basically get to a zero cost basis, keep one free. You can see I have done that with a lot of my PC ETBs. So in the future, I do think I am going to have less of these Paldea Evolved ones. Next up, I have a case of Paldean Fates ETBs. I bought these for about 1,600 Canadian. So in USD, that'd be like 1,050, something like that. USD, so a little over maybe like 110 USD per box. And I'm a fan of these. I'm planning to keep them long term. This is basically the only exposure I have to Palday and Fates currently. I did sell all of my PCTBs earlier this year when they went on a massive run. Prismatic Evolutions, I have 82 regular ETBs. That's 10.4K Canadian. Average buy cost is around 127 Canadian, which is approximately like $90 USD at this point. I'm definitely planning to buy more of these if the Sam's Club bundles hit. If we get more at Costco in Canada and I can find decent deals in Facebook groups, I'll definitely be jumping on that. And then one Prismatic PCTB, nothing really to talk about there. One Fusion Strike PC version, Brilliant Stars as well. And then 3 cases worth of Crown Zenith ETBs, total cost approximately $3,700 Canadian, 124 per ETB. That's what, like 85, something like that USD. And outside of my booster bundles for Crown Zenith, this is basically all I have left. I think I also have 6 of the Galarian Moltres tins, but a lot of my investment in Crown Zenith is in the booster bundles and the ETBs. I'm also planning to hold on to these. I have no intentions to sell these in the short term. Now, I'm sure someone's going to be asking why some of these are bolded in green. This basically just means I have a zero cost basis on these items. Now, moving into the booster boxes that I have to start off the series, you can see everything here, Journey Together. I have a couple, just 2 of the enhanced versions. I believe I paid about 195 US for those. Not a large position. I might add a little bit more Journey in the future, but it's not a great set. Destined Rivals, definitely a much better set. I only have the 1 box here. I spent 250 Canadian on this, got it from Hobbiesville at release. I'm definitely planning to add a lot more Destined Rivals to the investment portfolio, especially next year. I am anticipating a lot of booster boxes coming to market. People might disagree with that, but it just makes no sense to me why we haven't got more of these yet, and I think it's only a matter of time. The box is $383. It's holding steady, and considering what they've done with sets like Surging Sparks, I think it's only a matter of time before more Destin hits the market. Now, I could be wrong about that as well, and it could be a total failure, but for now, that's what I have. Surging Sparks, little over 2 cases left, about 4,100 Canadian invested in that. Twilight Masquerade, we have 1 case. Temporal Forces, we're down to a case. SV Base, I only have 2 boxes, zero cost basis there. Paldea Evolved, about 2 1/3 cases. I'm very close to zero cost basis on this. I think I'm only like $200 or $300 off from how much I profited. So this is very close to getting greened out. Paradox Rift, same deal, very close. My buy cost on this, 124 Canadian. So that's, I don't know, like 85 USD. I was buying those super cheap in, I think, 2024. And then in terms of Sword and Shield, I haven't sold a ton. Evolving Skies, I have my boxes. Chilling Reign, I still have over 3 cases, almost 4 cases. I have a case of Silver Tempest and a couple loose boxes. Astral, we have a case. Brilliant Stars, we still have 8.5. And then Lost Origin Fusion, 2 and 3 cases of those respectively. And both those are zero cost basis now. Absolute long-term holds. Massive fan of a lot of these Sword and Shield sets. I definitely bought way too much Brilliant way back in the day. In hindsight, I probably should have bought more Fusion Strike and Lost Origin, but hey, can't really change it at this point. I'm still happy that I have this. I still think it's a decent set. It's doing a lot better than some of these other boxes during this correction. So I'm grateful to have it, but I do imagine in the future this number will be a lot smaller. Now, moving into booster bundles, these are surprisingly probably some of my best investments, at least in the Pokemon sphere outside of like Fusion Strike and Lost Origin. The 151 booster bundles were up to $96 US now on TCG Player. I paid 58, almost $59 Canadian. That's my buy cost now. So that's like 44, 45, something like that USD. Same thing with the Crown Zenith ones. I have 56 of these and I paid 48 Canadian. Silver Tempest, I have a case of these. Got these on the Pokemon Center, I believe, like late last year when they were still in stock. It was one of those things that inevitably was going to go out, so I figured I would grab them at the time. And then Lost Origin, I have a case as well. I was buying these on Hobbiesville for like $25 USD, I think at the end of like 2023, and I'm now at a zero cost basis. I actually just unloaded a few of those today. Some booster packs and some miscellaneous items here. Evolving Skies, we have 15 left. We're at a zero cost basis. 15 sleeve Evolving Skies and then 4 packs of Team Up sleeves. So that's basically all I have for Sun and Moon era is those Team Up sleeve packs. And you can see here, I paid sub $70 Canadian. So that would be like $49, $50 USD. And then the mist stuff, I do have those Galarian Moltres tins, 6 of them, or excuse me, those are Divergent Powers, but the Moltres ones are there as well. 3 Fusion Strike Build and Battle kits, and then the Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection. And that's really all I have to talk about for Pokemon. I know some of you guys, you don't like One Piece. You can probably just click off this part of the video if you're not interested in One Piece at all, but it is definitely going to be a relevant portion of my investment portfolio going forward. And I think that there is a lot of potential in One Piece. So I kind of want to explain a little bit of my reasoning in this video. But these are investments that, at least some of them currently, haven't seen great gains because they're newer sets that I've decided to build fairly large positions in. And right now, that is affecting the overall ROI on the portfolio. But we do have one blue bottom booster box. I paid $15.50 Canadian. So that would be, I don't know, like 1,400, 1,300 USD, something like that. Couple white bottoms as well. I could sell one of these and get to zero cost basis, but I'm a big fan of Romance Dawn. And even the white bottoms right now are continuing to move up in price. We're down to 7 boxes of OPO5. I actually just offloaded a couple of these. A Memorial Collection, I have one of those. PRBO1, 4 boxes, Emperors in the New World. Great set, by the way. OPO9. This is something that I do want to add more in the next like 12 months, I'd say. The boxes are already up to around 235 USD on the secondary market and getting more expensive. You have lots of great chase cards in there. 1 box of Royal Blood just for display purposes. The Anime 25th Collection EBO2, couple cases of that. Great set as well. Same thing with OP11. We have a couple cases there. PRBO2, we have a case. This again is something that hopefully I'm going to be able to add a little bit more of over the next 12 months. I actually have a case in the mail coming from Singapore. It's going to be the 4 Asia boxes. And that's probably not going to be something that I hold on to. The plan there was to use it as part of a trade deal that I'm hopefully going to get done next year. At this point, fingers crossed. OP12, we have 1 box, Legacy of the Master. I actually pulled the Jewelry Body manga out of an OP12 box, so it's a pretty underrated set in my opinion, sitting around $100 US currently. And then OP13, I have 13 boxes. I have another case in the mail, so this will be 25 very soon. And next update, hopefully you will see that. Hopefully it arrives without any issues. So that's really all I have right now. And I do want to take a couple minutes just to talk about things I want to add more of or to add to my position in the future. So Black Bolt ETBs, this should probably be one of the most obvious ones. I actually have a couple of these in the mail currently. They've been in the mail for a very long time. For anyone who's in Canada right now, with the Canada Post strikes, things have been crazy slow. There's been delays, and also just with the holiday season coming. Hopefully these are going to arrive soon. I do plan to get a sealed case as well in the future. OP13 is the best One Piece set ever released, in my opinion. I am looking to add at least a case or 2 more next year. Outside that, PRBO2 we already talked about. Emperors in the New World we already talked about. And then the new Pokemon stuff, I'm not a huge fan of buying right now. For example, Mega Evolution's $250. No thank you. Phantasmal at around $270, $280. Not looking to buy this either. If these get big reprints next year, if we see a continuation in the reduction of popularity of the hobby, I assume it's going to be easier to get these later on in the print cycle. So I'm holding off right now on any of the new stuff. And then obviously Destined Rivals, I'm still holding off on this. Maybe I'm just coping at this point, but I do think that I'm going to be able to get a better price on Destined later in the print run. I do think it's only a matter of time before Pokemon hits us with a large reprint of Destined, and then we really do get to stress test the set and the overall popularity of it. So that's going to be the conclusion of episode 1 of Cardboard Kingpin. I know that there's going to be some people in the comments who are probably going to hate, who are probably going to say I made a lot of bad buys and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. Like, you're free to do that. If you don't want to watch the series, definitely don't do so, but this is going to be something I'm going to try and upload 1 video a month, be fairly consistent about it, maybe going into like the last week of every month, and just talk about things I get in, things I let go of, and just my overall philosophy on the market. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you are shopping, eBay, TCG Player, Hobbiesville. I do have affiliate links down below if you want to help me out. Free and easy to use. All you have to do is click on it before you do your shopping. I'll get a small percentage of the sale at no extra cost to you, so it's a free and easy way to support the channel. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.